Anybody on? Give me we got backups. We got backups. Let me see. All right. Give me some hearts, you guys, on Facebook if you can see me. If you guys saw what it was doing on Instagram right now, it is literally like flashing, pause, poor connection, flashing, pause, poor connection. Hang on. Hold the phone, loves. Give some hearts if you guys can see me. I see you on I see you on YouTube too. I'm gonna see. Maybe we don't do it on Instagram. Maybe Instagram doesn't really feel like it likes us anymore. Hi, loves. Good. I'm glad you guys are finding your way on here. Let me see. I'll try one more time on Instagram. Hi, Christy. Hi, Nakir. And you guys, I started streaming inside of our Soul Circle Collective Facebook group as well. Insta's not working at all. I know. Because I'm like literally here. Check this. Can you guys see it all? Look at what's happening. Watch it flash. Flash. Can you guys see it at all? I don't even think so. All right. Oh my God. It won't even let me end. Oh my God. End. 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 Oh my God. All right. We may be over. We might be over Instagram. There's so many people. Give some hearts if you guys, let's see, it was weird because other people's lives do work. Yeah, what are they, like blocking me? Am I getting blocked from doing live stream for real? Hang on. Let me do this real quick. All right, Soul Circle, Instagram is not working. Jump over to YouTube. Party is over there. Or if you're inside the private Facebook Soul Circle Collective group, that's where we're at. Love you. There. All right. Thanks for bearing with, guys. Let's have a little like Michael Bublé while we, if he's gonna work. If he's gonna work. There's only, and what's weird is there's only 3 people on live right now. It's a new day. It's a new life. So it should. For me. And I'm feeling good. We're gonna try to feel good today. Yes, dance to that. Let's go. Okay. We're over Instagram. You know how I feel. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. Good. Are you guys feeling a little bit better now? Have we kind of like gotten out of the like major? Cool. I see you guys on Facebook as well. We gotten out of like the major craziness. Give some hearts if you guys can see me here and if the connection is good.
Butterflies all having fun.
We had a funky night. Sorry to hear that, baby. I'm really sorry to hear that. Cool, we got hearts. Awesome. Who was on? Do we have anybody who was on the boost? Hang on. Yes, hearts. I love this part. I love this part. Hang on. Just jam for like a second. I love it. Let's keep the energy high. Come on. Cool. Hearts. Good. Got it. Gotta stay positive and up during this time. Yes, girl, get it. Yes.
Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scents of the pine,
Love it.
you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how
Shuffling too.
it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Start putting in any questions.
It's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Come on.
New life for me. And I'm feeling
Sing it if you feel it. These are awesome. All right. All right. All right. All right. Thank you, Bubble. Appreciate you. All right. Cool. How are you guys? How is everybody feeling now? And give some heart. Who was on the emotional alignment boost today? Do we have anybody that was on for that? Yes, Colleen, I know. I felt like we needed to start it with some feel good, and my man Michael is always good for that. So, hi baby. Instagram's not working. I think we speak too much truth in this soul circle, and Instagram doesn't really like that when we do that. So I don't know. We'll have to see what's happening with that. Cool. So yes, we're going to for sure do cards. They're already apparently jumping out. Do you guys want me to look at that one later or now? Later or now? All right. What are we diving into? Feel free to put your questions. Who do we have that's in a relationship? Who do we have that's single? Kylie's like, I want the card now. Of course you do, baby. Who's in a relationship and who is single? Just so you know, it's kind of like, because different things are going to come up during this quarantine for whether you're in a relationship or single. Kylie, I know you're single, girl. I love that you're putting that. Or maybe you guys don't want to put. You guys want it now. You want it now. Why does this one come up? We're going to do a clarifying question for this one. Jade Mountain. Who here knows in a relationship, single? Cool. Who here knows Renee, single? Cool. What's the meaning? Who's the crystal stone master in the group? Anybody? Who can tell me the qualities of the jade stone? Somebody wrote me a message after that one came up one time. Kylie, you're hilarious. She's like, now only if everybody else wants, because we collectively make decisions here. Okay, cool. So I'm going to pull a clarifying question for Jade Mountain because that's not very clarifying, right? Unless anybody here knows, who here can Google real quick for me, the jade stone. I know it's really, oh, wait, I want that one. Is that our clarifying one? Yes, thank you. Okay, well, she's green too. This one came up last time. It's coming up again. Abundance from within. I don't know. Is it backwards again on YouTube? Oh my God, you guys. The quarantine struggle. It's real. It's real. Look at that. Awful. I'm embarrassed. Cool. Abundance from within. I love you guys. So give some hearts. Who was on the 30-day boost today? Because we had what ended up showing up today, I feel like was really, really powerful. And I'm going to go into that as well for you guys as well. Abundance from within. Yes, always abundance from within. And if you guys remember last week, I feel like that one came up also. And so it's reminding us, because how we create new neural pathways is through repetition. So even if the cards come up again, it's kind of like, where is that showing up that you're not stepping into that? Or where the card fell. Where are you feeling like out of balance with your abundance within? I know we had talked about like, okay, if you're feeling in fear or whatever, to go and then be in service. And have you potentially been in so much service or potentially giving so much of your energy out that you haven't been fulfilling that within? Yes, Colleen, were you on today too? Cool. So one of the main things that came up today, I know we all talk about being present. And I know that that's really super important. And during this time, I'm going to just go ahead and say that the last place that we need to be right now is present. Thank you, Veronica. I'll read that in a second. I appreciate you. Hold what I mean by that for a second, right? So like, hear my heart on this. The last place that we need to be right now is present, because in the present, there's fear. In the present, there's, right? And see if this resonates for you. However you're feeling in this current moment with everything that's going on in the world, right? So especially if you're empaths, and especially whatever's happening in your relationships, in the present, maybe you're feeling drained. In the present, maybe you're feeling not loved. In the present, maybe you're feeling like fear, anxiety, anything like that. Give some emotions that are coming up for you guys. So when I say the last place that we need to be in the present is, it's almost like it doesn't feel safe to be in the present right now. Does that resonate? Do you guys get where I'm going with that? Because the main place that we almost need to be putting our focus is actually in the future. We need to be putting our focus in, yes, honoring the emotion that's coming up for us right now in any situation, in any relationship, and focusing on the version of you that you're becoming, the version of you that is when all of this is done, and creating an alignment with that version of you. It's almost like I'm literally saying, yes, 100%, cool. It's almost like I'm saying, go ahead and jump into the future right now. More specifically, jump into your future self right now, and then create that sort of vibrational like pull to move you into that version. So it's not staying where you're at right now. It's not focusing on the present. It's actually more focusing on the future. If you guys have been following me for a while, I'm going to call it out, okay? Because I know that in the past, yes, I have said, don't jump into the future and stay there. So I want to make this super, super clear. So any of you guys who have been following me for a while and you're like, Sarah, like you've said this before where it's like, don't jump in the future and then stay there. I'm not saying jump in the future and stay there. I'm saying jump in the future, go be inspired by the future self that you would like to be when all of this is over. The future self that you would like to be when all of this is over, in relationships, in your work, in your career, in anything and everything, all those different relationships. And then create that energy to pull you into that when you jump back into the present, right? So we're going quantum a little bit. Are you guys following? Let me give some, like, YouTube doesn't have hearts. Can I get a comment of some hearts, please? Because we don't have the fun Instagram streaming hearts. Thank you. Okay, it's also, okay, cool. Yes, this makes sense. Cool. Yeah, Kylie, you were you on? I think you were on, right? So 100%. Okay, the Jade Stone. Yes, love what you're saying. Okay, cool. So, and for those of you guys that were part of the 30-day boost, thank you, loves. So well, all of you that were part of the 30-day boost, you will have like my main message of this will be in the video that's going out. So if you've been registered, or if I have your email because you registered for the 30-day boost, then you will get the replay of that. And it was so inspiring having all of you guys jumping on and just collectively. And we had such a dope group, just sharing with each other, giving advice to each other. Like, we're really building this community of everyone stepping into their own leadership and expressing their own voice. So that was really, really powerful. And I want to just acknowledge all of you guys who did that today. And if you haven't, then go register and I'll be able to send you the replay for that, if you would like to be included in that. We have 2 more weeks going for this. So, all right, real quick, going back. Yes, the jade stone is a lucky stone, emotional healing. Okay. Thank you, Veronica G. Increase love and nurturing. Come on. Love that. And it's also a lucky stone that brings energies of love, wealth, and health. Can we get a like badass on that? That's amazing. Cool. Danielle, hi baby. Holy internet issues. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding. So love that you're finding here. And you guys were in the, let me see how that's going. Even Soul Circle Collective, our Facebook group, it ended there. They're like, you're done. The live video and replay, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, we're over technology right now. Leave it to Mercury retrograde and a global pandemic where everything is going alive. So getting back to the stone. Okay, cool. Brings of energy, love, wealth. Hang on, we want 2 of these. Cool. Love and nurturing. So where are we self-nurturing, or where have we not been self-nurturing? Going back to kind of what I was saying before, it's like, have you been putting so much energy out and then not giving yourself that time, not giving to yourself and filling up your own cup, right? When we usually do that, we all have a story around it. You guys know the name of the game on that one. And when that happens, you end up attracting people who then want to continue taking from your energy, because that will justify the story. So in order to shift that dynamic, if there's anything in this quarantine, I want to know how your guys' relationships are going and your relationship with self. But if there's anything coming up that's like you're feeling like you're giving out too much and not really receiving the same in return, well, we know the power that we have is that you're the one that sets the tone for all of your relationship dynamics. So that means that you haven't been giving to yourself. So the way to shift that external reality dynamic or that relationship dynamic is to say, okay, how is that showing up with my personal relationship dynamic with myself? Have I not been filling my own cup that then now I would attract outside of me any relationship dynamics of people who maybe need more stuff, right? Daniel. So when we want to be able to shift that, the more that then you bring energy to yourself, the more the external relationship dynamics shift. Give some hearts if that resonates and you guys follow and make sense. Yeah, I'm like super over Instagram right now. Okay, so the 2 that popped out for that. I feel like these are, you guys, I cleared this deck. You know that I clear the deck every single time. And I shuffled it a bunch before I even got on this live. And yet for some reason, we're getting very similar ones from last time. So self-worth. I know it's probably backwards. Cool. And trust. So if we have self-worth and trust, then if we're talking about the jade stone and not giving to ourselves, if we don't have a healthy relationship with ourselves, our inner conversation, yes, it's like, it's self-love, it's all of those wonderful bubble baths and all of those fun things. And it's the internal dialogue of your protection programming that's on repeat, that's telling you somewhere, potentially, see if this resonates for you, that your worth is justified potentially by how much you give out. And if you don't think that you're worthy of receiving, then you will create relationship dynamics where you give more than you receive. Going hand in hand with trust, if that creates a breach in your own boundaries, a breach in you stepped over saying, you know, if you're like so loyal to so many other people and you then lost track of what you need for yourself during this time. Oh, cool. Good. What is they still need to be worked on? What do you need? What do you mean, baby? And yeah, you guys like, and of course, like put in any questions that are coming up for you. So, like what are the top challenges that you find showing up during this time with your relationship with yourself or your relationship with your significant other, those of you that are in a relationship? Like, I really want to know what those main challenges are, because if nothing else, this whole gnarly quarantine is literally having everybody like reflect inwards. So what are the biggest things, like your dreams that are coming up? That's the doorway to your subconscious. So what are your dreams telling you? What are those internal dialogue conversations like on repeat? What's being said inside your mind constantly? If you can hear them. Couldn't sleep last night and having trouble sleeping, felt like the energy would not quit. Okay, girl. Have you been doing the recoding limiting commands? Just as a quick side thing. So Danielle and I have been working privately. So she's been doing my recoding limiting commands, which is where you actually find that internal dialogue. And then she's been deleting them. And that might bring up some more and kind of make sleep a little bit restless as you're continuing to delete those. So what are you hearing, babe? You don't have to put that, but that'll definitely be on our next call. Oh, okay, Colleen, you were saying what still needs to be worked on is trust and self-love. Okay, so what's the main thing that comes up with you for that? Yes, oh my God, currently my situation. Reese? Yes, I know. That's why I think it's crazy. They're exactly the same cards as last week. So it's still in the field, which... that's just how these fun things work. It's just the collective energy being reflected in cards. So what's the question, love? Okay, so we have a couple. So one, we don't get the trust part. Nakir, if you wouldn't mind making a specific question about that, please, babe. Renee, not being able to shift my mind and emotion in a work setting, resetting that switch. Okay. Not being able to shift your... Reese, have you been following me for a while, babe? Danielle, single. Hey, girl. Love you. You're awesome. Okay. So who has been practicing stop, drop, love? Can we put a serious hashtag on that right now? Because if we're the shifting the mind and the emotions in a work setting. So what do you guys think I'm going to say on that? Whatever's happening, there's the situation that's happening, and then there's what you're making it mean. So whatever your situation in the work setting, whatever's happening, the resetting that switch, it's harder for you to reset that switch because of whatever you're making it mean. And that meaning is then having the emotion, usually some undesired emotion. And if you're holding on to that emotion and not stopping that emotion, dropping into your center and then choosing the emotion that's closer to love, then naturally that will continue to cycle through this loop of undesired emotion, negative thought, or negative meaning, undesired emotion, negative meaning, undesired emotion, negative meaning. Does that make sense? So the quickest way, like using the whole stop, drop, love is, so if you guys are new, we did that we came up with that, gosh, I don't know how many years ago, but it was related to when there's a fire drill, right? When we were like all little nuggets and there was a fire drill and you had to stop, drop, and roll, right? So it's literally like there's an internal fire going on. There's an upset of some kind and the alarm system is going off. So when that happens, that's your cue to say, okay, I need to stop whatever that negative loop that's happening. I need to be able to stop the thought. I need to be able to stop the emotion, right? But we're these funny human beings that literally it takes 90 seconds to stop from the limit, to stop jumping between a negative emotion and a negative thought. But 90 seconds is a really long time when it's a fire drill. So if you can catch yourself and stop whatever that meaning is that you're making, and thus then triggering that emotion, or the emotion happened and then it's triggering a meaning, right? Chicken or the egg, doesn't matter which one happened first, but either way, like it's a jumping back and forth. So you have to be able to stop this like emotion, thought, and just stop it. That's where all of your power is. Stop in that moment. Drop into being grounded, drop into your heart, drop into gratitude, if you will, and then choose the emotion that is closer to love. Any emotion that we're experiencing, I love you guys. Any emotion that we're experiencing, you are choosing. If you're experiencing it, you're choosing it. And that's the power that we have. So if we can say, okay, I'm choosing this, then that means I can unchoose it. That means that like in this moment, I can say, what am I making it mean? What is the feeling? Stopping that, dropping into, take a breath, count to 90 seconds, and then choose whatever emotion you want that is closer on the bandwidth of all of the emotions. If over here is like fear and hate and all of the negative things, and then over here is like love and joy and all the badass things that we want, then choose closer to the emotion that you would want. Hashtag stop, drop, love. Thank you, Christy. Reese, does that make sense, love? Protective stone. Oh, jade keeps the wearer from harm and brings harmony. Jade attracts good luck and friendship. I love that. We're coming into, the energy is lifting, right? We've kind of gotten, like, we're smoothing out of at least the first initial chaos, but it doesn't mean that it's stopping us from reflecting in to shift into the version of ourselves that we really, truly want to be. That's what this whole opportunity can be used for, no matter how it's showing up in any of your relationships. Work, business, romantic, self, doesn't matter. For all of you that are single, how are you shifting into that version that you want to be to then be the vibrational match of what you want to attract? Relationships, how are you taking it to the next level to create deeper levels of intimacy? And who do you have to be in order to be the vibrational match of that? And calling in your partner to do the same thing. Okay, stabilizes personality, promotes self-sufficiency, soothes the mind, and releasing negative thoughts. Come on. Awesome. So who here has a jade stone in their home? Does anybody have a jade stone? Do I even have a jade stone? Jade in, what culture is jade really? Isn't it the Chinese culture? That jade is like primarily, is it Chinese, Japanese? Who knows that? Andrew, I have no idea. No idea, boo. But if you have a question about relationships with yourself or significant partner, I'd be happy to answer that. Reese, yes, making the unconscious conscious. Exactly. Well said. Okay, cool. So it resonates with you, right? So whenever we're in any situation, you guys remember the triangle, villain, victim, hero. So if there's an upset of any kind, chances are you're in one of the roles. That's just what's happening. What, baby? Jade stone was really big with the Mayans. Was it? I didn't know that. Awesome. So is it Chinese and the Mayans? I wonder why the Mayans. We'll have to look that up. This one just popped out. Compassion. Yes, good. Okay, cool. More valuable than gold to the Mayans? Interesting. So where are we having compassion for ourselves and our situation and negative beliefs, negative stories that we've literally created? All of the stories that are in our mind, we've created them based on the significant emotional events that we've been through that then have activated all of those feelings that then we've created meaning around, and then that makes our story. And then we associate with a certain identity to that story, and then we think that it's ours. And we can rewrite all of that. But stepping into compassion, I love that this one's coming up. The other word that really came up that I feel like goes hand in hand with compassion that came up today is gratitude. Where are we stepping into more gratitude and compassion? Because in order to shift into what we do want, and in order to release the resistance and get more into acceptance, which hence creates then the opportunity to shift more easily, we need compassion and we need gratitude. Colleen, why? Damn what? Who is my twin flame and how can I tell who she is? Would anyone like to answer that? Andrew, I really appreciate that question, honey. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you removed the title of twin flame and trying to focus on whether or not they are your twin flame, potentially putting them on a pedestal to either be on and then potentially fall off of, if you were to take all of that away and just focus on the feeling that you want to have in the ideal relationship based on a foundation of core values, then how would that tell you who she is? How could that be an opportunity to tell you, like who she is? Play with that one for a little bit. That goes for everybody too. Colleen, spot on for you. Okay, cool. You guys know how I feel about the twin flame soulmate. I'm not saying that we don't have really amazing, passionate relationships, right? And that those are titles that we put on it. But where are we getting lost in titles and measuring whether they are that title or not, that then is taking away from the potential to actually be relating on a deeper level? Because the whole time your brain is like, well, are they my twin flame or are they not my twin flame? Like, then you're all in the head. And if you're in the head, then you're not in the heart. And if you're not in the heart, then you're not creating intimacy. If you're not creating intimacy, then how the fuck are you going to have the deep relationship that you really want? So drop all the labels, drop all the like trying to figure out, are they or aren't they? And shift into, cool, what do I want to feel in the dynamic, in the healthy dynamic? It's so much different. It's totally different to be in a healthy relationship than it is to be in a toxic one. Toxic ones, I bet a lot of you on here, right? You're like, I can handle that all day long. You know exactly what to do, right? Different things show up in a healthy relationship. And in order to stay connected with what it is that you're wanting to create if everything is vibration, right? Everything technically is energy. We know this. And since since emotion is energy in motion, then if we're connecting to the emotion that we want to be able to create in a relationship dynamic, then what energy do you need to have in order to attract the energy of what you say that you want? That then would be a frequency match, right? Energy match. If like frequencies that harmonize together, right? Energies that harmonize together, there's those, and then there's energies and vibrators that like don't harmonize together. Cool. So before I kind of pull some cards, what other challenges are coming up? Who here is either in a relationship and you're finding challenges, or what potentially not challenges? Like what successes are you finding in your relationship dynamic while in quarantine? Okay, we dropped half the deck. Is that okay? We're gonna go with this one. While I am cool. Awesome. I'll get to these, don't worry. Okay. So, all right. Is that making sense? Whether you guys are single or not, we always have a relationship with ourselves, first and foremost. So if we were going to bring it back to the whole twin flame conversation, it's like, who are you being for you? Who are you being for you in quarantine, or any time for that matter? But who are you being for you? We had a conversation today where, when we have that sort of internal dialogue that's not so healthy, then technically, and just calling it out from the heart, but technically that's like being in a toxic relationship with yourself. So if we're shifting out of that story and moving into just having that healthy dynamic and being a badass, and what would be possible for you as that future version of you, what would be possible in your life, in your business, in your relationships, if that internal dynamic, your internal relationship was totally different? And who would that be? Who would he or she be? I want to hear a couple comments from you guys. What's the most important emotion that you want to be able to experience inside of relationships? And then we'll do cards. The positive. What kind of emotions do you want to be able to experience? Nobody wants to experience anything positive? I love it when you guys share. Give some hearts if you guys can hear me okay. Can you guys hear me? Yes, put a heart if you can. Somebody put a heart. Thank you, love. Thank you, love. Passion, freedom, deep love. Awesome. Thank you. Just checking to make sure everybody's still on. Trust. Cool. How long did it take you to think of the emotion that you want to feel? We so often think about the emotions that we don't want to feel. So much easier because we're programmed that way, but that's what we're shifting out of. Passion, fulfillment, great. Awesome, Andrew. Vulnerability. Okay, Ashley. Hey, girl. Trust, deep love, freedom, passion, fulfillment, vulnerability, fun. Love that. Colleen's still thinking, right? But like, if nobody's ever asked you this question, then like, how are you going to know when you found it? How are you going to know? How are you going to know then if they're your soulmate twin flame? How are you going to know if the emotion, the energy in motion is connecting? If you don't know what emotion it is that you want to be able to have, that then would give you the sort of indicator that that's in alignment, aka potentially being soulmate twin flame. If you must put the title. Because it doesn't matter what the title is at that point. But you're like, cool. Is that the emotion that you manifested, that you said that you wanted? That's, yes, there's values. Yes, there's all of those other things. But more importantly, it's like, well, what is the emotion that you want to experience? And so just like staying in emotional alignment for our life, right? When things get crazy, it's so important to stop, drop, love into the emotional alignment that we say that we want, which gets us out of fear, out of panic, out of upset. It's equally the same thing to be in the emotional alignment on how we want to be able to feel, whether we are manifesting a relationship or whether we are maintaining the intimate connection within a current relationship. Because if it doesn't feel like those things, then you're like, oh, okay, we're just out of alignment. Just out of alignment with the energy and vibration of the relationship dynamic. You want to get really like specific. You have your emotional alignment for you and your purpose and your right, everything that your drive is that you're building in this world. And then they have theirs. And then in the center, there's the emotional alignment of the relationship and how you two are then in a relationship with the energy in the center. For those of you that have worked with me, I call that the Mandorla Nexus. I have a blueprint because you guys know I'm a nerd and I create those things. One of the best things that I feel like would be so good for all relationships right now, and even if you're single, is using that blueprint and creating like, okay, cool. What's the foundation of who I am individually, independently, so that no boundaries get crossed and you don't tell your subconscious that you're losing your self-trust when you cross your own boundary. Honoring and knowing what theirs are, because they're human beings and we want to be in respect within all of our relationships. And then also knowing the one of the relationship. It's a completely different entity. It's its own consciousness. And the emotions that you want to create in that center, so that like the human side of us, we're going to go out of alignment because we're human, because we do, because apocalypses happen and it pulls everybody out of alignment, or, you know, you get into an argument and then you're really out of alignment of what you say you want to create. So it's not whether or not you're going to be out or in alignment. It's how quickly can you recognize that you're out of the emotional alignment for either yourself or your relationship, and then how quickly can you get back in and get back into the energy in motion that is the alignment of the relationship that you say that you want, aka the twin flame relationship, right? To put a label on it. Make sense? Damn, cool. Love that, Colleen. Okay. Okay. So that's really super sweet, Andrew. And I think that it's awesome that you have a crush on somebody that is on YouTube, that you're finding coincidences, right? Or synchronicities of similar birthdays and names and same brother name, something like that, right? It would be very hard to tell if you have never met someone whether they were the vibrational match to you or not. So I would say until you meet that person, right now it's a you have a desire. It doesn't make them the ideal partner for you. It could, but you would need to meet that person first in order to see whether that energy spark was created on both sides when you meet in person. If you see them on YouTube, it's very hard to tell whether that person would be the ideal person for you. So I would say, if it's possible, see if you can meet them in person. Hi, Terry Lee. Cool. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's already 10 minutes. Okay, so we'll go over the cards for this week. Awesome. First one, prosperity and freedom. Tell me again, do you guys see it in, is it backwards on YouTube? Because I know it is on Instagram. But I see it backwards, but I don't know if you see it backwards or not. So, prosperity and freedom. What I want to say on that, because whenever, it's funny because we're all in lockdown, no freedom. And when you can't go anywhere, it's important to remember, right? Because that might be a big station everybody's having. I don't have any freedom and it's stuck at home and blah, blah, blah. Prosperity, freedom is not a destination. Usually also, we desire freedom in relationships. We think that means, more time apart, right? Or alone time. Of course, totally. We all need our own alone time. That's not what I'm saying. And freedom is not a destination of somewhere you can go. It's a state of being. I almost want to say prosperity is also a state of being. It's a vibration. It's a, yeah, Danielle. I love you. It was definitely big on your conversation, wasn't it? Do you want to put, how's that going? So, what did we do for you again? This is perfect because we did a wheel for her. This came up for her. I'm not going to put you on blast, girl, but this was perfect because this is literally for everybody. So, freedom, it's like, what is freedom going to look like for you? Make a wheel, draw a wheel, and then write different areas that you want freedom. Maybe you want freedom in relationship. Maybe you want freedom for yourself. Maybe you want, what areas do you want freedom in? And then what is going to let you know that you feel that freedom? What would have to happen in order for you to feel that freedom? Because it's not anywhere that you're going to go. You can be on lockdown and still feel free. Good job, girl. Free to be you. Yes. Okay. Goes hand in hand with, if we don't have freedom, and if we don't have, if we're not in a vibrational alignment to freedom, abundance, and all of that stuff, or let me say it this way. Say it as positive, Sarah. If we are in alignment with freedom and abundance, and prosperity, same thing. Freedom, prosperity, when we are. Not if we are. When we are in vibrational alignment to prosperity and freedom, guess what we get? Sea of love. Sea of love. That can be romantic love. That can be self-love. But it's, and I love that it says sea, because then that's the water and that's the emotion, and everything that we do as humans is to experience an emotion. Yes, when. Not if. It's when we're getting out of lockdown. It's when we're getting out of quarantine. And when we can be in the vibrational match of staying in alignment, emotional alignment to prosperity and freedom, a state of being, then you access a sea of love in all its forms. However that's going to show up. In any relationship. And since we're human beings and we have a relationship with literally everything, you have a relationship with yourself, you have a relationship with spirit / God, whatever you want to call it. You have, which I also find one and the same, you have a relationship with money, you have a relationship with business, your career or your job or your boss or whatever that is. You have a relationship with your significant other. You have a relationship within yourself between your own inner masculine and feminine. So you access literally the sea of love. It doesn't say like that's an ever flowing. It doesn't say rooted, stagnant earth. It says ever flowing. Coincidentally, the next card is Timeless Earth. Did not mean to put those two together. And if that means that then the earth is, I love that this one that's coming too is also nature, right? So here, I'll just show Timeless Earth, then Wings of Light, and then nature. So those are the following that. What does Timeless Earth mean for you guys? If you go from the sea of love, what does this one mean for you? Terry Lee, whoa, Sarah. We're not slowing down, girl. Synchronicity. Okay, why, girl? So what does Timeless Earth mean? Does that mean for you, like what I'm getting is it's our planet? Yes, right? That's the most obvious. But what is the meaning of Earth to you? Is it home? Is it foundation? Is it that rooted structure that feels safe? Does it create timeless safety? That no matter what is happening, you will always have the feeling of safety within you, no matter what goes on outside of you. That's what I get for this one. Use your own intuition for whatever's coming up. I love this, Wings of Light. All of you who are part of Soul Circle Collective and have been for years, you were your own leaders as true beings of light, whether you want to go super woo-woo with that, or it means that you're here to step into a higher version of you and be that for whether it is just in your relationship to create deeper love, whether that ripples out to your personal community, whether that ripples out to a greater level of influence, however you feel inspired to do that. I know that you being a part of this collective, because that's the vibrational match that we all hold, it's every character building, every significant event that is character building that gives you your wings of light to step into the level of leadership, that highest version of you, to fulfill whatever purpose it is that you are meant to on this planet. When you can step into prosperity and freedom, access the sea of love, have timeless trust and safety to then have your own wings of light. And then establish, like, yes, this could be go and spend time into nature and all of those things. But this to me is establishing like the true foundation of what you want. You're welcome. That feels so powerful. Holy shit balls. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. Colleen, thank you for your knowledge, time, and energy, laughter, and cuss words. Girl, appreciate you too. We always keep it real. Okay? We can be super spiritual, and we're also human. And I feel like an appropriate F-bomb really just emphasizes your level of leadership. Wings of Light does not come with does not come without an occasional F-bomb. That's just what happens. Cool? So yes, a little bit go into nature. This is grounding. This is like filling yourself back up, right? Getting out of, there's so much technology now. It's like, oh my God, more than ever. It's like, we need more grounding. And go in nature by yourself, or at least just one other person, and stay 6 feet apart, whatever you got to do. And establishing, you're laughing at me. And what does nature really mean? If nature is the foundation, these are trees, these are roots, these are like the collective earth. This is a whole, like, nature is us as human beings. It's culture, it's growth, it's supportive. Holy shit balls. Exactly. So, does that resonate with you guys? Yes, we still need nature. You need sunlight. Call a buddy. Stay 6 feet apart, but go be in nature, but also develop what is the nature. If nature was culture, if nature was foundation, then what is the nature of, let's say, your home foundation that you want to establish? Are you watering the plants at home, metaphorically and literally? Peace, love nature. Exactly. Yes, so much. Cool. You guys are awesome. I love you all so much. Terry Lee, you were definitely on today. I loved your share today in the 30-day emotional empowerment boost. So for those of you guys, if you were not on, we're still doing, there's 2 more weeks of that. If you still want to, if you want to get the replay from the last 2 weeks, register for the link in my bio, and I will go and double check and see if any additional emails came through so that you can get the replay on that. But we're building such a stronger community over there, and I'm loving it. And it was so powerful today and so inspiring for me to see all of you guys coming together, and I get to see your faces, not just your little emoticons with your texting and just your little handles, right? Your handles are great. And we're just establishing such a deeper level of connection over there. And it's so fun and so powerful. So thank you everybody for who jumped on today. Yes, Danielle, girl, and I'm talking with you soon, I think next week or whatever. We gotta handle that freedom conversation. So if you guys want to continue with the 30-day emotional empowerment boost, the link is in my bio. You'll get the replays, and then you can join on live next time. Which is basically next Tuesday. It's every Tuesday at noon Pacific Standard Time. Got her on that. Awesome. I love it. Beautiful. So I love all you guys for always jumping on every Tuesday for Soul Circle. We'll figure out Instagram. I don't know what the deal is with that. I love it. You guys are awesome. All right, loves. Have an amazing rest of your week. Stay in emotional alignment of what you would like to create and establishing the relationship foundations that your heart and soul truly want. I love you all. I will see you next week. Yes, love it. Bye, guys.